Good morning, USC. It's Monday, October 8th. It's a little chilly outside, but we're going to toast it up with some really interesting topics today here on The Toast. Stay tuned.
Good morning and welcome to The Toast. I'm Tallie J.
And I'm Sam S., and we're your hosts every Monday morning for Dance Moves Monday.
That's right.
So, Tallie, what kind of toast do we have?
So today we have apricot jam, not
really
jelly.
Really good.
And your stomach was growling, so you definitely have to eat some.
It is still growling. All right, I'll take one quick bite of that.
Tell me what you think of it. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Apricot's a good fruit.
It is. I like it. So, Tallie, I know we had some really interesting lists and rankings to talk about today.
Yeah, so I read Huffington Post like all the time.
Okay.
And they have these really interesting in the college section, just ranking of everything. Anything you can think of.
Yeah.
I don't know who's doing these or what kind of job you have and you just rank various things.
Yeah. What do they base these rankings off of? Like
I don't
surveys
know if
or
it's
something?
surveys or the person is going to these schools and just talking to students.
Yeah.
But they're really funny.
So I know that one of them was the most happiest students.
Yes. So
Did we make that list?
Yeah, the happiest was done. I didn't want to forget anything by Princeton Review.
Okay.
So that's a legit source.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the colleges that made the list, we've got Rice University.
Uh-huh.
That's from my hometown of Houston.
Nice.
University of Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Clemson University, Vanderbilt.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
What do you think? Are those USC obviously made the list.
Obviously. I mean, USC students I feel like are really happy all the time.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, the weather is always great here.
The weather's perfect.
I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, coming from New Jersey, the weather is like so much better. I mean, honestly, like I've been talking to my friends at home and they're like, "Oh yeah, like it's 50 degrees and it's rainy and disgusting."
And you're like,
I'm just
ha-ha.
like, "Oh, well, like it's 85 here and sunny and I'm chilling by the quad studying." It's awesome. But I mean, I think that has a lot to do with people's
But there's also
mentality.
so much to do here. We're in LA.
Exactly. Yeah, there's
so
so much to do.
So our access is great.
Yeah. So I'm a little confused on why Vanderbilt and Clemson made the list. I mean, I guess it's because it's the South and they're supposed to be really like happy and pleasant there, but I mean, it's like okay, it's like, kind of nice, but they have good football teams too, so I guess that helps as well.
Maybe sports plays a big deal.
Oh yeah.
You get into it, you have tailgating.
Oh yeah, that is like.
If every other weekend you can tailgate, that'll keep you happy.
I know. Speaking of happy, I know one of the more controversial lists was the top pothead schools.
Now, what do you think? Did we make this list?
No, we did not make the list. I think number one was Colorado Boulder, which is like known for having a lot of.
It's University of Colorado.
Marijuana. Yeah, I know that.
Followed by University of California, Santa Cruz.
Okay,
what do you think about that one?
Well, I would expect it. I mean,
really?
I know, yeah. I mean, there's
Santa
a lot.
Cruz?
Yeah, there's a lot of weed up there.
You know from experience?
Oh yeah,
I'm
definitely.
not gonna put you on the spot.
No, but it's definitely like that kind of place. I mean, I know that UC Santa Barbara is also on the list.
Yeah,
and Vermont
Green
is
Mountain
as well.
College. That's in Vermont.
I've
never even heard of that
school, but
is that the reason there's smoking?
Yeah, probably. There's probably just nothing else to do there.
There's nothing to do in Vermont. I don't know.
But what do you think about USC not making the list?
You know what? That's probably a good thing.
You think so?
It's because people are just happy naturally.
Yeah.
They don't need drugs. They don't need anything. Maybe just alcohol.
Do you think with like, you know how there's a lot of like controversy with like the whole whether to like ban or legalize dispensaries?
That's a huge deal in California.
Yeah. Do you think that is going to like have some effect on like the amount of weed that people here smoke?
That's a really good point. It probably does impact. You know, if it was legal, maybe more people would smoke it here.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a good point.
But also, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't smoke it as much because like it's legal and like if it's a legal substance, like people just kind of like don't really want.
But it's like, who did the survey on this? How accurate is this?
Yeah, I don't know how they figured these things out.
If some Princeton Review guy is coming up to you and asking you, are you honest?
Yeah.
What if people? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can trust this at all.
I know that Colorado has a lot of weed because They have this,
University
like,
of
I think
Colorado.
I'm pretty sure that's delegalized or something like that.
Okay. Let's do, what else do we have? Oh, most beautiful.
Oh, most beautiful college campuses. Did we make that list?
We made the list, and the other cool thing is that it's pretty much a California
Really?
like list.
There's a lot of
We've
California
got
schools.
University of San Diego.
Okay.
University of Santa Barbara. Have you been there?
No,
Santa
but I
Barbara?
heard it's gorgeous. It's like right on the beach.
Santa Barbara is gorgeous.
Really?
And it's so close. You should go for the weekend.
I have to go.
And it's just breathtaking. LMU is on the
LMU.
list.
I've heard that's
Chapman
gorgeous.
in Orange County.
What about Pepperdine?
Okay, this pissed me off. Pepperdine's not on the list.
Are you serious?
Pepperdine is breathtaking.
Every college campus ranking, like, for most beautiful school I've seen has Pepperdine on the list.
So we know this may not be legit. Princeton Review needs to get it together and hire us, and we could go, and you could travel. I'll travel to the schools and talk to students.
I'm totally down for that. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, it didn't make the list. I'm hurt.
Do you know if it's only based on the most beautiful campuses or
Wait,
the
now
people
the most
too?
beautiful, this is another point. They're Newsweek.
Oh, really?
So that's a really valid source.
Exactly.
So I don't know what is up with their people when they don't go to Pepperdine.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that USC made the list. I think our campus is beautiful. The people are beautiful. The weather is beautiful. It's great.
So we're beautiful. We're happy. What was our other one we were on? We're not smoking weed a lot. What a great school.
It sounds great to me. All right, we have some more rankings to talk about.
A very special one.
A very special one, but we're going to send it over to Tiffany, our on-campus correspondent now. Tiffany?
Thanks, Sam and Tallie. So now it is Dance Moves Monday, but you can't dance without music. So today we're going to talk music news and music feuds. There's some, controversy going on in the music industry right now. As you might know, Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey are the two newest American Idol judges, along with country star Keith Urban. Now, TMZ recently released a behind-the-scenes video from American Idol of Nicki and Mariah getting into a heated argument on set. Now, in the past, there's only been one music industry diva on the judging panel at a time, Paula Abdul and then Jennifer Lopez, and now there doesn't seem to be enough room for two divas. So we're going to check out the clip. It's a little crazy. Nicki gets a little upset.
Minaj and Mariah Carey going at each other's throats. Oh, God, this season's going to be horrible.
Oh, God, it's going to be great.
That's another way to go.
These chicks hate each other.
Well, the fight was over some contestant.
Right.
I mean, they hate each other so much that this is happening over whether some wannabe can sing or not.
Sources tell us Nicki even threatened to shoot Mariah, but Idol honchos say that just ain't true. So, where were the men during all this madness?
Randy Jackson couldn't control it. Settle down, settle down. Hey, come on.
That is totally crazy. So, I don't know about American Idol's choices this year. In my opinion, I think Mariah is a great fit for American Idol. I think she's perfect to be an American Idol judge. It's a good way for her to, bounce back into the music industry, kind of a new start for her career. But Nicki Minaj, not so much. I don't really get why they picked her. She's more of a rapper than a singer. I guess they're trying to bring in that urban music element to the show, possibly. Or maybe they're just trying to create controversy because they know Mariah and Nicki don't like each other, and they're just kind of trying to, give reason to watch the show. Personally, I'm going to watch because I like country music, and I'm a huge Keith Urban fan. So, in other music-related news, Chris Brown is stirring up controversy, and there is no surprise there. He recently released a video for his song, Don't Judge Me, even though we are all still judging Chris Brown. The song calls out the media as a whole and women who continue to bring up the incident regarding Rihanna and who can't move past it. Now, the video, it's kind of interesting. It's Chris Brown, he's like in the army, and he's, walking through trenches and stuff like that. So, I'm not really sure how I totally feel about it. And also, you know what I'm judging Chris Brown for? His blonde hair. Why does he still have the blonde hair? But I guess at least he's trying to be honest. He's trying to put himself out there. But I feel like if he would have just done that in the beginning and been really honest and upfront in the beginning and apologized right away for the Rihanna incident and just kind of owned up to it more, I think, it wouldn't be this bad for him now. Chris also recently released a documentary-style video called The Real Chris Brown. And according to the video, if you think you know Chris Brown, you don't. But honestly, I'm not really sure I want to know Chris Brown. It's very interesting, the whole Chris Brown thing. I remember when he performed at the VMAs a few years ago. It was many years ago now, and he was amazing. He's such a good dancer. He's a good singer. And everybody was saying how he was the next Michael Jackson. But ever since the Rihanna incident, it really has completely torn down his career. But I think it's more how he handled it than, the incident itself. A lot of stars have kind of done really terrible things and have apologized for them and bounced back from them. But Chris Brown really has never been able to bounce back from that. So I don't know. But, I do like his song Don't Wake Me Up that's on the radio right now. So it's interesting that I say I don't like Chris Brown, yet I still don't change the channel when his music's on the radio. Now, Tallie and Sam, are you guys Chris Brown fans? How do you feel about Chris Brown?
Don't wake me up.
I love that song. Don't wake me up. That's what I was singing this morning when I didn't want to get out of bed.
It's a good song. It's like he's a good artist at the end of the day.
I think he's really talented, but, he has made some really poor decisions, so we'll see how that affects the rest of his career.
Yeah.
So, Tallie, I know we have a more cheerful topic to talk about.
Yes.
Party school rankings.
Party school ranking. Now, this is done by Playboy.
Oh.
So if anyone's going to do a party school, it has to be Playboy.
Wait, Tallie, I heard that you went to the Playboy Mansion. Is that true? Were you wearing bunny ears or not?
No, I was not wearing bunny ears, but I have been to the Playboy Mansion.
How was it?
It was so cool. Now, I wasn't just hanging out for fun because I don't know how you get an invite to go.
Yeah.
But I was interning at KFBC, and I knew that they were covering a charity event, and I begged the assignment editor if I could, tag along on this. So they let me go, and we took, they bussed a bunch of people up the hill to enter, and we were there for the little red carpet that they had. And then after we did the interviews, I was just kind of wandering around, and there was a lot of half-naked women, as you might expect.
Of course.
Lots of silicone. And I wasn't dressed cute. I was so sad. I was wearing black slacks and a crappy blouse. I look cuter today than I did on that day.
Oh no. That must have been.
Yeah, and I didn't see Hugh, and I was looking for him.
Oh, that's too bad. Apparently he comes to campus a lot.
Yeah,
I
we
haven't
should find
seen
him.
Yeah, definitely.
I respect him. Is that weird?
Yeah, we'll bring him on the show one day. He'll show us some dance moves.
I'm sure he has some.
Okay, but back to the party school rankings. Okay, so we made the list at number 2, right?
USC is on that list.
Wow.
We are number 2. Let's see who else is on there.
I know UVA was number 1, which honestly I don't understand.
Yeah, UVA.
I visited there, and it was just not that fun. It really wasn't. I mean, it has a very fratty attitude, but it's not really there's not really that big of a bar scene, clubs or anything like that. I mean, I can understand why we're on
because house parties or something.
I can understand why we're there because we're in LA, there's so much to do and so much to see and so many, people and
Ohio State.
Ohio State made the list? Okay.
Yeah.
Who else made the list?
University of Texas Austin.
Okay,
Yay. University of Florida Gainesville.
Okay. No, I've heard that they are a big beer drinking school.
So what does it come down to make you a party school?
I mean,
we'll have Hugh in.
Yeah, we'll ask Hugh.
I'll call my people and tell them that I need to talk to them.
I know that they were thinking about the amount of attractive people, sex life, nightlife.
Attractive people.
Yeah, so there were a lot of different factors I saw that they based it off of. But
do you think we have a lot of attractive people at this school?
Definitely.
Be honest.
Definitely.
Yeah?
We have so many attractive people. I mean, everybody, even if they're not that good looking, they're still pretty good looking. I mean, it's true. I mean, this is Southern California.
Yeah,
so. And
the best of the best come here. So.
Exactly.
Lots of eye candy.
I know,
and
definitely.
And that makes for fun parties.
Yeah.
And everyone's happy.
Exactly. And I mean,
thus, we're the best school.
Our Greek row is pretty much the stereotypical, it's the epitome of a Greek row.
So what ranking do you think they should do? What are they missing?
I don't know. I think it would be cool. I know that they had one. I'm not sure. I didn't see it, but they had one on most stressed kids.
They did, and we're not on it.
We are just the best school overall.
We don't have to smoke weed to be not stressed.
Exactly. That's great. And it's such a good school too. So I'm just so proud.
I want to see who's getting the most jobs. Where's that ranking?
Yeah, I know. They should have that ranking.
Where's the ranking for people making the most money out of college?
I'm sure that we would probably be on that list.
That's a ranking I need to see.
Especially considering the internship and job opportunities with the Trojan family. I think we would definitely be on that list. Don't you think?
These rankings are fun. I think I'm just going to read every single ranking and compile my own ranking of the best rankings.
Definitely.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to send it over to a commercial break real quick.
We'll be back soon.
But we'll be back. Stay tuned.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Hey, Aaliyah Abdullah here.
And I'm Laura Caholen. Catch us at 11:30 on Tuesday mornings on 8.1 Trojan Vision.
Welcome back to The Toast.
Welcome back.
I'm Sam S.
I'm Tallie J.
And today we have a very special guest.
Wait, before we talk about our guest, we want you guys to log on to our Facebook and make sure to like us on The Toast, like our page, follow us on Twitter, and also make sure you check out on TrojanVision.com to see our episodes that you've missed.
Yeah, definitely do that. Show us some love. Okay, so we have a very important guest today.
Yay!
Annalise. She's a critical studies major here at USC, and she's a junior. And you're also a semi-professional ballerina or a professional?
No, I'm definitely not a professional dancer.
Okay.
I went to boarding school, though, when I was in high school for dancing. And I was going down that track for a while, thinking that's what I wanted to do. But when I was there, I sort of realized that that's not the career path that I wanted to end up going down. So
Okay.
What was that like, boarding school for ballet?
It was so intense.
Really?
I mean, there's really no other way to describe it. It was, I went to school in D.C., and it was a Russian ballet boarding school. So my teacher only spoke Russian, and she didn't speak English, and she was brand new. And so every time that I'd get yelled at or get a correction in ballet, it'd have to be translated through the pianist, who was also Russian, and like translated the correction to me. So I'd get like yelled at once in Russian, then have to have it translated into English.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'd have my friends that were Russian like translate the bad words and like actually tell me what was really going on, that like what my teacher was yelling at me. So
is this
it
like
was a really intense experience.
Yeah, that sounds. So is this like your decision? Like you always loved dancing? Like when did you start to dance?
Definitely, yeah. It was 100% my decision. I wanted to go to a boarding school sophomore year actually of high school, and that I ended up sort of not going because I thought that I didn't want to give up like my academics for sure, and then regretted it that year, and then knew that I absolutely wanted to like get back into a boarding school and go for my junior year to have this experience. So that sort of motivated me to work really hard my sophomore year, and then I ended up getting into this boarding school. And then
So was it like the moment you wake up to the end of the day, was it all dance?
Pretty much. I mean, we did have school, but it was all in one building in DC. So it was literally like first floor was academics, so we were down there for school, and then second and third were like dance studios, and then the fourth and fifth were like our dorms. So it was literally us just running up and down stairs all day long.
How many students?
It was a small school. I want to say there was around 100 of us. Like it was pretty small, and there were students from all over the world. Like my roommate was Japanese. She didn't speak any English.
Oh my goodness.
So, but we
How did you manage?
I mean, it was funny. Like she learned English progressively, not that much, but at night it would just be like, "Can I turn off the light?" And like it was cute. It was good. She was a really adorable roommate. So
But so you're these people from all over the world, but ballet is the same no matter where you go.
Exactly. And I think that's a really cool way to look at it. I mean, with sports in general, like you don't need language necessarily to communicate. And I think that's such an amazing thing, especially about the art of dance in general, is that you can feel things without language. So, and music, of course, too, does that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my favorite movies is Black Swan, directed by Darren Aronofsky. I was just wondering, is the ballet world really as intense and as
brutal,
high pressure as the movie?
Definitely. I mean, I think they got a lot of things right. Of course, it's a movie, so things are exaggerated. I mean, I've never heard of like creepy relationships with teacher-students. I mean, I'm sure that's happened, of course, but there's definitely so much pressure to be thin. That's not a lie.
Really?
And I mean, it's just a sport where you have to have a specific body type, you know, and if you don't happen to have that body type, then it works against you your entire life when you're trying to learn.
Did you feel that pressure yourself?
100%, yeah. I mean, luckily I went into it. My mom's a dietitian, so like growing up I was like really lax about it and like always, I don't know, I was lucky to learn from my mom how to be healthy, and so it didn't affect me. But I had a friend that went into cardiac arrest actually, or came close to going into cardiac arrest, and she was out, and then she ended up not being able to dance for a whole year because there was that pressure. And one of my friends one time got in trouble for eating a banana at school, from like our director.
Aww.
And
oh my gosh.
so that definitely exists. That pressure is very real.
Yeah.
So.
Jeez, I mean, that sounds just...
I had another question, because it seemed to me like ballet is something you have to start when you're young, and as you grow up, it's kind of hard to get into it.
Definitely.
So is there still hope for like me and other people who are
of course.
past 5 years old to learn ballet?
I mean, I had the same thing. I didn't start dancing until I was 13, like actually thinking about it. I mean, I was a gymnast, and that's really late for ballet. Like when I went to my boarding school, there were 13-year-old girls there that had been doing it their whole life, and like they were incredible. And so it does work against you age just because flexibility and stuff like that. But I mean, it's still so much fun. Like I love it, and you can have a great time just going to class. And I know there's new things like Pure Barre and stuff like that, which I've heard of that are a lot of fun. So those are cool. I don't know. Those are a good way to sort of, I think, experience ballet without like the intensity of ballet.
How are your feet? Because I
heard
ballerinas have
I mean, your feet look pretty good for being a ballerina.
Thank you. Yeah, no, well, I mean, I have like really archy feet, which everyone like, here, I'll take my shoe off. Like everyone makes fun of me because I like sit like this. I don't know if you can see it. Like I just like stand and like, I don't know. It's weird. My feet are weird, but I mean, they were much worse when I was doing point all the time. Like they were covered in blisters and stuff like that, you know.
That must have been so painful.
Things. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wait, was it all females at your school? Were there any
No,
males?
it was mixed.
Really?
It was girls and boys, yeah, and we did a lot
of
Maybe I should just enroll. Drop out of USC.
Yeah.
Boarding school for you.
It was fun, yeah, and we did a lot of partnering classes together, so that was important to have the men there as well.
So do you still do ballet? Do you still dance now?
I do, yeah. This is, I mean, of course not at the same intensity as I did at all, but there's an amazing teacher who actually teaches at USC, Sasha, and he taught me when I was 15, and he's also Russian, so he's of like the same vein as a lot of my teachers.
Does he speak any English?
He does, yeah, but
goodness.
he's incredible, and he has an amazing story, and he's really nice, and it was weird coming here and having such a nice teacher compared to like the intense place that I was before when I was at my boarding school. So
is it the
he's
best
incredible.
to learn from Russians? Because that keeps coming up, like Russian
right,
ballet.
Right.
Exactly. I feel like that's a big
It's just
thing.
very intense. It's very good training. Technically, it's very sound training. So I think that a lot of people do tend to go to Russian training. I mean, there's a lot of other good techniques in the world, but that is one of the main ones that I feel like a lot of people follow. It's like the Vaganova style of ballet.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow,
yeah.
That's so interesting.
So
So I know you had a few moves you wanted to show us.
Oh,
I apologize in advance for my dancing ability yet again.
No, of course.
But
not.
I know that there were a few things you wanted to show us. So like,
Sure.
what exactly? So do you want to stand
Yeah,
up?
let's
sure.
let's create. We're gonna make our own
Move the chairs
bar.
back a little
Okay,
bit.
yeah, we can make our own
We
like
can just turn
bars
around
with
and
the
make it a bar.
chairs.
Let's do it.
We can just do like a lesson.
Okay.
We'll go with the very basics. How about
Which way are
that?
you standing?
Well, actually, in ballet, you have to face this way always
Okay.
first. Oh, wait,
Okay.
my mic is attached. So you always start the bar facing, or class facing this way.
Okay.
Wait, am I lying? No, I'm lying. It's this way.
Oh.
I'm totally lying. I'm backwards on this.
Cool.
So yeah, you're always gonna start this way. I'm sorry, I'm behind you guys. But
That's okay.
I mean, okay, here, I'll turn around for this. The positions. This is first position. You guys know your positions.
No, we do not
This
know
one.
Okay.
positions.
Is it
So
like
this is
all
first
the way?
position.
Is
Yep.
it all
that?
the way
Yep.
turn?
Oh my gosh.
And
this
then
is
of course
painful.
there's plie. And then
Okay.
and then
Plie, how far down do you go in a plie?
well, there's demi plie, and then there's of course grand plie.
Nope.
Oh my
where you
god.
go all the
Not
way down.
trying to do that. Oh
Can
my
you
gosh.
injure yourself even doing this basic move? Because I feel like there's a
I'm
possibility.
already getting a cramp. I can barely stay up.
I mean, definitely you have to like obviously learn to work your
You have
muscles,
to-
your hip
what
hip
is the
muscles.
hip
Yeah,
muscle?
it's
Yeah.
definitely where the turnout like starts from
Not
the hips.
turning out.
Yeah, no, but let's see what else. I mean,
What
so
is
what is
third?
when you put the arms into it? Like,
okay,
what
so
is
there's
that?
definitely different positions of
I'm
arms.
stuck.
You know, you have your different.
If your fingers aren't the
position.
right position, do you get like in trouble?
Actually, yeah. Well, I mean, of course, like teachers are very specific, and there's different styles. Some styles where actually have you hold your hands more like this, like more rounded, if you can see it, which is not how I was trained. I was trained to sort of have them more extended and like elongated. Sorry,
Okay.
trying to figure it out.
I can see you look graceful, and then I
I feel like a
I'm
robot.
holding.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
it's all
awkward.
good. It's all good. And then let's see what else. There's of course passe, where you've got to.
Oh,
Okay.
this is like
I'll
the yoga pose.
And then
If
a
you
little
did
tree.
yoga, it would
pose.
probably help you, wouldn't it? If you did
Yeah,
yoga.
yoga's great. There's Pilates, which a lot of dancers do because that was like founded to work the muscles that ballet doesn't
Okay.
work. Because since you're turned out all the time, Pilates works a lot of like the inner muscles, which is really
Pilates
good.
really transforms your body too,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
no, definitely, it's good, and
I'm gonna
it's
stay in
great.
this position.
Yeah, and then of course, okay, if you guys want to challenge, I mean, you probably
Yes.
can't do it in a skirt, but develope.
You
Do you
can
know
do
what that
it.
is? That's like basically you just like lift your leg, like. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Wait, do
That's
that
develope.
again.
Okay.
I just saw a point coming towards my
This is as
eye.
much as I can do it.
Make your face. Yeah.
I'll hold. Go. Here we go. Sam.
I can't see any
Oh,
farther.
that was a good attempt.
Yeah, that was
right?
a great attempt. So
Thank
that
you.
is your side
Very
develope.
nice, very nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And then of course there's turns, which I won't go crazy into. But there's prepping for a turn. You're in a wide stance like this, and then you go into a demi plie, and then you eventually go up to passe, and then spin.
So you're combining. Oh yeah. I can't even get up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then of course there's inside turns and outside turns, so a whole variety of things. And then you put everything together into a combination, which would be something like, I don't know, you could like do a plie and like a develope and then a prep, and then you go into a turn, woohoo, and then
Or you can just stay
so
here.
that's basically, yeah, or you could stand there, So yeah, that's kind of how a class is structured. But the great thing about ballet is
What
that
about your back? Is there any?
yeah, I mean, with your back, you're just trying to keep it as flat as possible, basically.
Oh,
and
flat.
Keep your,
Because I was kind of
and keep
concave.
your
You don't arch it
ribs
at all?
protected. No, not really, unless you're like going backwards.
Okay.
But yeah, so the great thing about ballet in general is that you just learn all these individual steps and then you just put them together, unlike perhaps hip hop where it's a little more freestyle.
Right.
Like when you go into an audition, you already know all the steps. It's just a matter of what what order they're going to put them in, basically. So that's what's nice about that is you're not trying to necessarily adapt to some brand new move that you've never heard of
But
before.
it takes a lot of patience because this is not something like I want to start doing spins and be on point. It's like I have to do this 100 times. Right?
I know with gymnastics like there's different levels. Is it the same thing in ballet?
Sort of. I mean, since ballet isn't necessarily a competition sport, there are tons of competitions, but gymnastics is definitely like all about the competitions. We don't necessarily have levels that way, but of course the classes are structured in different like intermediate, beginner, advanced.
So how do like people decide like who's the best at ballet or like who's really good at ballet?
You can actually just tell right away.
Really?
Really?
It's just an innate thing. I think some dancers have that that energy and some don't.
And that grace.
Awesome.
There's a lot of grace in boys, which we are clearly lacking.
Well, speaking of grace, Annalise, thank you so much for being
of
with
course,
us today.
Thank you so much.
It was a real pleasure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thank
And
you so
we are going to
much.
wrap it up today. Thank you so much for being with us on The Toast. And we will see you next Monday for another episode of Dance Moves Monday.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.